Hello, this is Pobo here. I've had these drums for about 3 months now, and I figured it was about time to do an update. These are the Alesis Nitro kit, which I got for about 300 bucks, $2.99. And at the time, that's all I could afford, and that's all I really wanted to invest in a set of drums, or under $500 anyway, to practice with. I couldn't see paying $3,000 to $4,000 for something that I was just going to, like I said, practice. Although they would, if I just had money to throw away, that would probably be nice. But nevertheless, after 3 months, what do I think about this Alesis Nitro kit? Well, before I start complaining about things on it, which everything has its pros and cons. If you want to nitpick enough, you can find something wrong with anything, no matter what it is. And there's some good nitpickers out there, trust me. Look at reviews on some things. Nevertheless, that's them, not me. But before I get to nitpicking here, I will say for $2.99, you still can't beat them. For one thing, after 3 months, they still work. The other set I had, within less than a year, I wore them out. They wasn't no count. In about 3 months on my other ones, the cymbals cracked right here. I'm afraid to look, but looks like, no, serious. These are still working. So that's a thumbs up right there compared to the other ones I had. So it's not a deal breaker of these complaints that I'm fixing to complain about. Okay, before I do that though, I did make some upgrades because the module does support an extra cymbal and tom. If it's got a place for it and you can find them, go for it. That gives you more of a real drum feel. Okay, I found the tom pad on eBay for 25 bucks. They sell them for now for about $45 to $50. And they have got, basically these extra parts are from the Alesis MD7. Don't know what happened there, but all of a sudden they didn't exist no more. Or at least I don't think they do. But nevertheless, the parts will work on this kit because basically the Nitro is basically the same thing, but just kind of cut down and cut the price. But believe it or not, everything that the MD7 features is still in this drum. For an example, the MD7 had deal triggers all the way around. The module still has that in it. Just as it still has the ability to hook up an extra cymbal and tom pad. All of those features are still in it. Because when I bought the extra tom, I bought a double dual trigger, such as the snare. To prove this, the first tom, now I've not checked and seen what's on the rest of these, but is double trigger, and I tested it. You can go all the way around it and the triggers will work. Usually you get that sound unless you program it. One of them does a little bit different pitch of it. Okay, let me move right along. Let me throw at you the things that I do like about it before I throw off on them. But it's not a deal breaker. Okay, what I like about them is the snare. You got your regular snare head, and if you hit them softly, and also you can do ghost notes with it on most of the kit. That would be sweet. And when you're playing, I like to do ghost notes every now and then, so I like that feature. Another one I've got to move on is the rim trigger. You got your regular like that, or you can be playing hard and come down and do that. it's like the rim does two different things, which I thought that was cool because my first set, the rim barely worked on the thing. I had to put an external to get it to work right. Okay, another feature I like about these drums is the chokeable cymbals. Like that. That gives you a real drum feel. And another feature that I like is the response of the cymbals, the ride and the hi-hat. You can be playing like this and come up. And it works. My first set, that didn't. You could beat the cymbals off the thing and you might get a double trigger, get a bell every now and then. And good response on the hi-hat as well. So it does have good features. It works really well. And now to the complaints. Here we go. For one, that thing down there, which is called the hi-hat pedal. Now it has good response. In other words, when you hit that, it's good response. But the only problem I have with it is right there. Open, closed. Anybody know what open and closed means? That's it. That's it. Open and closed. Exactly what it says. Now, if a question that I've been wanting to find out, and if anyone knows, drop me a comment or something. eBay makes these things, or actually don't make them, they sell them, and some of these are a continuous pedal. In other words, it's not just open and closed. It's like a volume on a radio or your stereo. As you move it, it does different things. It's a continuous reaction you get from it. And if that would work on this Nitro kit, that would improve these things a lot. I mean, a lot. Another thing that I had to replace is the drum pedal. Although when you buy this kit, most of them you don't get that at all. But Alesis Nitro does supply everything, plumb down to the drumsticks and earbuds. You ready to play if you can hear anything through the earphones. But seriously, I had to replace that, and I already had this old Tampa pedal that I used on another set of drums. But if you might want to replace it because the other one was very draggy. I mean, it messed you up. They wasn't no doubles, or you certainly didn't do a triple. So these are some things, and the rack is a little flimsy, but I, from my old drums, took the braces and braced them up better. I don't know if that would affect them, but some people said that these would bust if you wasn't careful. I don't know. I went ahead and braced mine up because I had the stuff. It probably would work fine. I have heard no complaints so far. So these are some things about them that I didn't like. The pads are a little hard, but they rubber. What can you say? I had an acoustic set converted over to electric, and they were mesh heads, and I kind of got used to mesh heads, but nevertheless, that's still not a deal breaker to something to practice with. And have I covered everything on this review? I think so. And another little thing is when I'm playing the ride on some of the kits, it's a little quiet. Now that's not a deal breaker because you can simply adjust that, which I'm going to do a video on adjusting this thing and setting up some kits, maybe perhaps a little later on. So all in all, would I still recommend these drums? Yes, I would. for the price, you can't beat them. And like I say, it's not a sales pitch for Alesis, although I'm sure that reviews and stuff help sell these things or not sell them. But nevertheless, they're not bad for the price still. They still working. And I hope when I turn them on tomorrow after doing this, they still work. If not, we'll do another video. But I hope that this was helpful. If you're thinking on down the road, 3 months later, if I play these things every day, what are they going to be like? Well, mine still works 3 months down the road. And I play them. I beat them. I hit them hard. I play them hard. Some things that might give trouble on down the road, inside of these things is a piece of foam that lets this give up and down. I don't know if you can see them moving, but that lets that move up and down. At some time, them might break down and you will have to replace that. Hopefully no time soon. But nevertheless, here we go. The wind up of this. I would still recommend them for the price.